Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Cerebral Conversations. And I always call on my interview special, and this one is exactly like the other ones. This one is special because I think this is my fourth or fifth person I'm interviewing that follows me on TikTok, and I'm gonna have her introduce herself.
Guys, so I am Jamariah. You may know me online as the Girl Jam, founder of FBW Collective, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, um, before I get into my first question, do you have any questions for me? I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
Okay, I am on the spot. Um, Questions for you. No questions, just more of a shout out. Like I always see you working out or doing something positive on TikTok and literally you inspire me. So I think you're awesome and I want you to just keep doing that. Like every time I see you, it just makes me smile.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That means a lot. Because when I first started posting, I didn't think anybody was going to care about my opinion or care about my workouts, and to see that I've built a little community that actually cares about what I think is cool.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. All right. So my first question is um well, my first question is usually with the one I always ask for everyone that follows me on TikTok. Did you find me on the For You page, or were you like actively like searching for stuff and happen to come across me?
That's a great question. I think literally you just came across my For You page one day. And I either liked the video or something triggered the algorithm to show you every time. So, like, I saw you that one time and I think I liked it or I commented. It might have been like an audio that you use. Like I know you use a lot of motivational audios.
Hmm.
And I was just like, oh, okay, this is dope. And I think after that, I started seeing you more and then we just ended up following each other.
Hey.
I think that's how it happened for you page for sure.
And a quick shout out to you too. I really like the stuff that you post, and seeing you grow your business, and all the positive stuff you're trying to do for women with women empowerment and stuff, and that's really cool.
Thank you.
And that actually leads into my next question was, what made you want to get started with your whole collective and everything that you're doing?
That's a great question. So back in 2019, I lived in Denver briefly. And it was right around the time where Breonna Taylor and Oluwatoyin Sawyer were murdered.
Hmm.
And I just felt like I was away from home, which home for me is Atlanta. I'm not from here, I'm from Florida originally, but I've lived here for almost 20 years. So I guess it's home. But I felt this sense of disconnection from Black women, especially. So my brand initially started off me just taking advantage of the pandemic and layoffs and unemployment and using my money that I would get every week to invest in a new Black owned business. So I would find women online and I'm like, we just need a space just for us. I created an IG TV series called This is a Safe Space. At the time, I was in an emotionally abusive relationship and I needed a safe space personally,
Hmm.
combined with the the energy in the world at the time around Black women and our voices, just not seeming to matter. I use that platform to vent, to have like a little Q&A session with Black women, and then of course evolve into reviewing their businesses for free, just shouting them out. And then recently it evolved into the collective. So now the B that once stood for Black women stands for blank because I just felt like as I evolved, I wanted women to be able to define themselves. I feel like the world puts so many titles on us already. So it's like if you're a Black woman supporting my brand, obviously the B for you, the first thing that you would think of is this is for Black women, which is perfectly fine. But let's say I had women of other races coming to me for help with things or advice, and I'm like, man, I don't want to shut the door on them. So the blank is just it could mean anything for, but it's for women just to have a platform, have someone to say, I hear you, I see you, I love you, I appreciate you, I support you, without expecting anything in return.
Nice, nice. So, so another question, kind of adding on to that. When you were starting all this and like starting to build it, and as you're continuing to grow it, have you gotten like any like pushback from people who don't think it's gonna work or don't see the bigger picture?
Uh, Surprisingly, yes. And I'll never forget, it was this Hispanic man telling me that it wasn't fair to only work with women or to only at the time work with Black women. And I just he's like, your business is not going to grow that way. You can't like box it in. And that's sexist, that's racist. He had all these reasons. And I said, well, I don't decline helping men or working with other races, but as a Black woman, that's the first thing I identify as. So that's where it all comes from. But I literally just let him air out his opinion because that's what it was. And this was about maybe 3 years ago. And I kept it moving. Like it doesn't really bother me.
Okay. Yeah, because one thing that I mean, I don't think at least I don't think I've dealt with any kind of pushback. But what you just said makes a lot of sense because that's the only, I mean, as far as like being a woman, especially a black woman, that's the only perspective you really have. So of course you're gonna cater to black women first because you're black and you're a woman.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just like you and I post my stuff. Obviously, I want to help motivate other people, but for me, it's to help motivate people that are going through the same situation I'm going through. With my because I have a disability, I have cerebral
Hmm.
palsy. I'm not going out of my way to say, oh, this is only specifically for them, but it's like obviously I'm gonna my content's going to be more focused towards that because this is my perspective and then this is how I deal with it and this is how I'm choosing to motivate. So,
Right. I think the representation is important. Like there's so much that's for everybody that it really gets lost when you can't be intentional and just focus on, what you can actively relate to. And then of course other people will come that need it or that resonate with it, but outwardly putting energy into trying to please everybody just doesn't work.
mhm. and to add on to that, I actually had a meeting with my mentor in because on the side I work for a financial services company. I can't get too deep into it, because there's compliance and red tape and all that stuff, and
Okay?
I don't want to get blown back by the black trucks. Joking, but um, we were going through we were having a meeting, and I was kind of talking to him like I noticed that within the company and like within finance, even though we say we want to help the middle class and help people that need it, people with disabilities are always getting kind of left out and stuff with this. And he's like, that makes sense. And I
Mhm.
ended up last week, I ended up writing a list of things and we ended up going over it. And what he was kind of telling me was, he's like, yeah, this is cool that you're doing this, but you gotta find I you got to find what tugs at the heartstrings and how it relates to you and what's the positives. Because he noticed that when I was writing this stuff, I was always talking about like what we don't have, but it's like
Mhm.
what are the positives to this? What are the positives to this? What are the positives to this, and this? And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm. Yeah. I try to do that with my brand because it's very easy to victimize being a Black woman in America, and not really even victimize it because we are like the marginalized groups, the disabled, the minorities, women in general. We are on the lower end of priorities with society and with the economy. But that's why I kind of made my brand more about celebration versus, you know, we don't have these things, and like I don't know how to describe it, but it was just more so I wanted to celebrate and support us rather than cry about things we don't have, just create that for us.
Mhm.
And I think that's like what you're doing with your audience as well. So I think that's really great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So my next question is, what's been the coolest thing about, building the brand, and like getting it, seeing it grow and seeing it get more popular? What's been the coolest thing about it?
That's a great question. I think the coolest thing for me is the evolution of it. Like going from an IG series and spending my own money on certain things to having brands reach out to me to send me things or being invited to different events. Like they're random on the surface, but I know that everything happens for a reason. So whenever I get one or an invite or a message, I'm just like, wow, like they saw something I did and saw value in that. So just that constant reminder that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then on the flip side, the magazine is very new. That's our new media outlet. It dropped in November. So we're now getting ready for the March issue and just being able to have a concrete place for those Black women, like, and all women really now, because I've gotten a lot of different women reach out to me, but the excitement of them seeing themselves in my magazine, even though it's not a Vogue yet or, as big as Forbes or something like that, it's just, I don't know, it's really exciting just seeing that platform in one place.
Nice, nice. Don't forget about us little people when you get famous.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully for me, I can eventually grow my platform into something like that as well, to where I'm getting invited to stuff. Because one thing you've seen it in my stuff where I always talk about how, like, in fitness, like, there's not really, especially with these bigger brands, there's not really someone that's has a disability like mine, or just a disability in general, that you see that's like they really push, because
Yeah.
they're always looking for. And it's no disrespect to them, because it's not that they're I don't think they're trying to do it, they just don't know. But it's like, you always see like this particular type of body type, and it's like, where's the person that looks like me? Where's the person that has what I have? And it's like,
Right.
I want to eventually be that person.
You will be, 'cause like your fitness videos motivate me, and it makes me really just like harder on myself low key, because I'm like, Brandon gets his ass up every day and works out, and I am sitting here lazy or I am too busy, and it's just like I can't wait for your brand partnerships either. Like we got to start pitching you to some brands.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And what's crazy is, I don't really, I mean, I've said it before, but I don't really think I'm just doing anything that special. And people I talk to are always like, don't talk like that. Why are you being negative? It's not that I'm being negative. It's just that
Hmm.
I don't really think I'm doing anything that's special. I'm just, working out, and I happen to share it, and people happen to like it. And it's like,
Yeah.
and it's
I think it's
still,
just a consistency. Like you're doing something every single day that people that are able to choose not to. So like you're making a conscious effort to, in spite of a disability or anything that the world would tell you you can't do, you're like, I'm gonna do these push-ups, I'm gonna lift these weights, I'm gonna like continuously strengthen my body. It's like you're going against whatever diagnosis and just like still killing it. So like yeah, you're doing something very special. I'll just let you know.
thank you. Because, um, I mean, it doesn't really seem like it, but there's days where I don't really have the motivation to. But
Yeah.
I just gotta keep being consistent, because I know if I keep being consistent, it'll all pay off in the end.
Yeah. Just be like, I can't let Jam down. I gotta drop a video.
Yep, yep, and a few other people too, because I know there's a few other people that consistently watch and always say how they're motivated by me, so I can't let them down either. But you
Exactly.
especially. But um, so did you have any other questions for me before I move on to? the next question?
Um, they will come to me. My brain is like jello today, but
Mhm.
I definitely do have some.
So what was the most difficult part? I know I talked about what was the coolest part of,
Mhm.
building your brand, but what has been the most difficult part? And what's been the part that, that's been kind of like annoying or nagging in a way that you're just waiting to get over?
Ooh, there's two parts to that. So on the financial side, I went through a big layoff last year and pretty much just hit rock bottom, lost a lot of things. They're all material things, of course. The good thing is I didn't lose my spirit. And I even turned that situation into content. So I had started the layoff series on YouTube. So I would say financial. But also, I wasn't taking my brand seriously at first. So I let my LLC dissolve. Like, I was not business minded the way I am with the collective. And so I couldn't even apply for grants or things like that. So I was really frustrated realizing all those things go hand in hand. So now learning from that, I know better. So now all my stuff is compliant, a new LLC. So it's like, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to apply for grants every month. So at least the financial side doesn't become an issue. I use my 9 to 5 to invest a lot. Like everything that you see, I pay for out of pocket. Um, but then emotionally, I would say what has been a challenge or more annoying is you really do think that the people close to you will support you, like whatever you do, and they don't. And it's like, I know I'm doing something great. Like, are y'all just not seeing this? Or are y'all haters? Like, do you just not want to see me win? So you have to like, I've had to detach myself from that expectation. Like, I'm just gonna keep putting it out there because you know how it is. Like once you get big, then here comes, oh, I've known you since elementary school. I always knew you were gonna be great. And it's like, you don't repost one thing.
Yeah.
So
And then they're like, I've been down since the beginning. I've been. It's like,
right. Like, where
not
were
really.
you? I didn't see you in the likes. I didn't see you, drop a comment. And we all know how social media works. So when people are like, you know, don't expect your friends to support you, it's like, I actually do expect that. So currently, I don't have any friends because I'm like, no, I support everything that everybody else does. So when people ignore me, it just like blows me. But I'm finding my tribe.
And I'm
What
happy
do you
to
think
be.
your biggest challenge is?
My biggest challenge, and um, I would. I'm gonna start with the social media side and then go personal. But
Mhm,
with the social media, with the social media side, especially with TikTok, it's for me the biggest challenge for me is trying to get used to how much it fluctuates because sometimes you'll post a video and then it'll do really really well, and
mhm,
then you post a video like the next day and it doesn't do well, and
mhm,
then you may take a week or two off, not post anything. You post a one video, it skyrockets, and then you're like, okay, I'm getting somewhere, and then you
mhm.
post a video 2 days later and it does nothing. So with me, it's just finding the balance between realizing that you're not gonna blow up overnight off of one video. You just gotta
Mhm.
make sure you stay consistent and consistent. Some days may be good, some days may be bad. So
Yeah.
that's been, as far as the social media stuff goes, that's been the biggest challenge. But as far as personal for me goes, it's the biggest challenge for me is trying to figure out, or not trying to figure out, just realizing when I need to take a break and not
Mhm.
overdo it so much on the
Mhm.
physical side as far as working out. Because when it comes to working out for me, it's not only for, obviously, I'm doing it to inspire people and everything else, but for me on the personal side, I've kind of used working out as a way to get over, to, how do I word this? Okay, so physically, when I go through challenges, when I work out, I think I'm automatically gonna get over those challenges, and when I don't, it gets frustrating, and
Hmm.
then I end up beating myself up over it. So that's been my biggest challenge is not beating myself up just because I don't get over something as fast as I should. And
Yeah.
I need to realize more that it's gonna take time. And
Yes, be gentle with yourself. Like the world is gonna beat you up enough about stuff. You gotta be your biggest cheerleader.
yes, for sure. So a question that I want to ask. What's been one thing about my content and just what you've seen from me that's been really, really cool to see since you've been following?
Um, Honestly, more of your personality. Like I think your content when you came to Atlanta for your birthday and you were just like having a ball. I think you were in Walmart or something.
Oh my
Like you were doing
Lord.
all kind of stuff. And I was like, Brandon is outside. Like, I think that because like sometimes we can get caught in a monolith with our content where it's like we're only our content. And it's like
Mhm.
it was a really nice change of pace to see the man behind the gym. So it's like, okay, he's always working out. There's always something motivational, but like here he is living life.
Mhm.
And it just really, I don't know, like your content just makes me smile in general, but like I think seeing more of your personality. And then also when you started doing your podcast style, like when you started interviewing people, I was really impressed with that because again, we can just put ourselves in a box and it's just really refreshing to see that you don't put yourself in a box. Like I mean, if you do, you wouldn't know looking at your content. Like it's very healthy. It's very well rounded. Like I feel like you have something for everyone. Like you were posting your meals before. You used to cook a lot. You don't cook anymore. I noticed that.
I actually don't know how to cook, which is crazy. After when I post the food and stuff, it's stuff my grandma
Oh,
makes.
you weren't cooking. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were cooking that.
No, I wish they don't let me touch the stove here. They don't let me touch the stove. They think I'm gonna hurt myself. But I really do want to learn that actually would be really good content for me to like post myself learning how to. You just gave
Yeah.
me an idea.
I'll send you an invoice for the consultation.
Okay, but, but that's been also to go back to what I was saying before. That's been a cool thing too to just post like more of myself and to see like I said like people actually care about what I wanted to post and it was crazy because with that whole video in Walmart I had no idea he was recording me until I looked over. I was like, wait, what? Because I was stuck and I called him and I'm like, yo, I'm stuck here. And he's like, how'd you get stuck? Because I was trying to do a 3 point turn, but I didn't think I was going to be able to do a 3 point turn because of how
Yeah.
tight the space was.
No, it
And
was hilarious. Like the build up, everything, because you're like, is he gonna get out? Is he gonna be able to turn around? And then when you were, it was like, oh yeah, like it was like watching like a movie where like you're like, is the person gonna get away? Like I don't know, it was so funny.
and when I tried to go straight, there was a dead end because the whole reason I was down there is because I wanted to turn to get to where he was, but I
Hmm.
couldn't. But when I went straight down the hallway, it was a dead end because there was like a checkout desk there, and I'm like, damn, there's a desk. And if I go back and I was like, I can't really turn, so I have to
Yeah,
reverse. And when I reversed into
yeah.
the hallway, I realized how small the hallway was.
No, it was a great, like that was like probably one of my favorite videos of yours. Like you were having a time in Atlanta.
Yeah, no, I was yeah. It was a trip that I definitely needed because when you're constantly at home and you see the same things and the same people, it can get like really monotonous. And I just needed, and it was a really good mental break too to get away. And I hadn't seen my friend that I was with in a couple years at that point, so it was good to see
Hmm.
him because we had grown up together. The friend that I was with in Atlanta, and I don't know if you've seen the videos of my trip to California.
I don't know.
Yeah, I ended up going to California the year before that, and I ended up going for my birthday, going from
I might have seen
going for
them.
my birthday, and the two friends that I was with when on both of those trips, we both of all three of us grew up together, so
Oh, that's
those are
nice.
yeah. So yeah, and those are like my two best friends that I consider my brothers. So
Hmm.
and it was really cool to see them. The one that lives in California just got married, and I'm upset I wasn't able to go
Oh,
to the wedding. But I told him I'm not missing. I'm not missing. I'm not. I told him I'm not missing anything from here on out. When you guys have kids, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try and finesse my way into the living room if I have to. That's
you just got to get some scrubs.
yeah.
Nah, that's cool.
Mhm. But so, what advice would you have for someone who's trying to build a business or trying to do something similar to you, where they're trying to like cater towards a certain demographic?
Um, the advice I would have for anyone, well, answer both of those questions. So the advice I would have for anyone that's starting a business is to like find their purpose. They have to do a series of like self-reflection because you can start a business just for the money aspect of it, sure, but it won't hit the same. Like I feel
Hmm.
like when you're passionate about what you're doing or when you know why you're doing what you're doing, you just go that much harder. Like I can sit at this desk for 13 hours straight and work on my brand, but if I'm at work, every hour I am looking at the clock. Like, when is lunch? When is my break? When do I get off? So, like, just having that passion and that purpose behind it will definitely keep you going and it will attract genuine clients because all money is not good money.
Hmm.
Um, and then, advice for someone that is catering to a particular audience or demographic is just to do it with your whole chest. Like, don't apologize for it. Don't try to adapt it for anyone else. Like if my brand was still just for Black women, that's what it would be. Like you would not be able to tell me, well, what can you just? The answer would be no. And it's like, it's a loving no. Like I don't knock what you're doing or anything like that, but this is what I'm doing. Um, and that's how I am now. Like when I think someone asked on Threads, like, if you have a brand that's for women, would you take on a male client? And it's like, I deal with men all day, every day in my 9 to 5. So it's like, I have no desire to take on a male client voluntarily at this juncture. But also, I am just looking to be that beacon for women. Like, that's just what I'm standing on. So I just would say, like, stand on business. Like, someone tries to convince you you need to include XYZ and you don't really want to, or you don't see, that that's where your lane is, there's no need to conform. In my opinion, there's so much out there for whoever that they could go there, like so. I just say stand on business.
Absolutely, and that was definitely, and that was a great answer. That was a great answer
Thank you.
because a lot more people need to. I At least I would assume I'm not an expert, but I think a lot of I think a lot of people would definitely benefit from your mindset because even me sometimes I'm at work and I'm like, especially when I have an interview scheduled, I'm like, okay, I get off work this time, I can't wait to get home because I have all these things I want to talk about and I can't wait to record the interview, and get to know the person because
Yeah.
one of the biggest reasons I started this was to you know get people's perspectives on things and kind of understand where their head is at when it comes to whether it be disability or business, or just life in general. And
Hmm.
just to just to get a chance to meet more people and learn different perspectives, and take those perspectives for myself and kind of apply it in what I'm doing. And
Yeah.
it's been really cool.
What's been your favorite podcast episode, like as far as guests you've had on?
I actually have an answer for this. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've actually interviewed him twice. There's this older gentleman with cerebral palsy. His name is John Borland,
Hmm.
and both times I spoke with him, I feel like I learned so much about cerebral palsy
Hmm.
in general, and just the little nuggets of wisdom he was dropping. It was like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Oh, I didn't know this was possible. I was like, wait, I was like, oh, you've had cerebral palsy for longer than I have. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm learning what it was like, what disabilities were like in the 60s, in the 50s and
Yeah,
60s and stuff like that. And
that's cool.
just the amount of knowledge he had was like, if I didn't have the basic version of Zoom and I had Zoom Pro, which I definitely need to invest into now that I'm
Hmm.
starting to do these more again, yeah, I think we would have been talking for like 2, 3 hours. That's how good
Oh,
it felt.
wow.
I was mad that that I had to cut the interview short because of the time limit.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. So, okay, now this might be like a silly question, but I don't know a whole lot about cerebral palsy. Were you born with it or does it develop over time?
It I was born with it, because I was born with it, and there are different forms. Some people can automatically have it outright, but it doesn't show
Hmm.
right away. Or
Okay.
some people can be diagnosed with it later on. As
Okay.
far as I know, um, I can only go back. I can only go based off of my experience and my diagnosis. But as far as I've known, I've had it my entire life. And the form that I have is called spastic cerebral palsy, and it affected my muscles, specifically my leg muscles.
Oh, okay. Is that what inspired you to start the working out and like just staying active, like just wanting and not be confined to anything?
It honestly, what really got me started working out was I looked in the mirror one day and saw how skinny I was, and I hated the fact that even though I was wearing slim fit clothes, it looked like I was dressed in 2005. But
Okay.
mm,
Okay. So
yeah,
you wanted muscles.
that's the vague answer. I mean, not the vague answer, but that's like the selfish material answer.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think I've always worked out because growing up I've constantly had to go to therapy and stuff. So I was already kind of working out, like not
Hmm.
necessarily lifting weights, but going to therapy sessions, making sure, my therapist made sure that I stretched. Certain I had certain exercises that helped me with like normal things, and then working out has helped so much because there's certain things I can do now that I couldn't do before I started working out.
Oh, okay.
And
That's cool.
it's helped so much. Not only just with like my physical appearance, but you know, I sit up a lot straighter than I used to. Um I can lift my leg up a lot higher. I can, walk a little further than I used to. It's just little things like that you wouldn't notice.
Yeah. That's really cool. Look at you. You're gonna be in like what's your fitness dream? Like would you do like a 4K or like a walk competition? Like I don't know what they do like for fitness things nowadays because I don't go to any of them, but like you know how they have like what are they called? Cathalons? I don't know. But like, would you do like any type of like 5K or like any type of like competition or anything?
Honestly, this is something I always tell my friends, and I tell anybody that knows me, because I love basketball. If there was a league for people with cerebral palsy like mine where we could like run around and walk and stuff, I always
Mhm.
tell people, I'm dropping 40. I'm dropping 40. I'm
Okay.
not gonna average 40. I'm gonna drop 40 one game.
And that's it.
I'm gonna drop 40 one game. I don't know if I can average 40, but I'm dropping 40 on somebody's head.
Okay. Okay. Scared of you. So we gotta get that started then. That's a
Yeah,
cool goal to
if that
have.
was if there was a way to get something like that started for people with cerebral palsy like mine, where we could where they have to have cerebral palsy where they're able to walk and stuff. Because I don't want to be. I mean, I know there's wheelchair basketball, but it's like that feels too complicated for me.
Okay.
Even though I have a wheelchair and everything, but
Hmm.
I but yeah, that's always been like a big thing for me because I'm really into basketball. And I used to play on a consistent basis a lot, and I need to get back to doing it because I haven't done it in a while.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I had no idea you're dropping 40.
Yes, yes, I'm, and I know people that know me are gonna see this and think I'm crazy for saying that, but I've said it, and one of these days it's gonna happen. I don't know when, but it's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Well, you gotta get on the court. You said you haven't played in a while, so you gotta go practice some shots.
Yeah, for sure. So since we only have a minute left in the recording, because I didn't realize how long we were going, um, Uh, I'm gonna end it. Do you have anything real quick that you want to say before the video cuts off?
Um, just keep doing what you're doing, keep inspiring the masses. That's it.
Thank you. All right, you guys. This has been an episode of Cerebral Conversations. I really appreciate Jam for being on, and I'll catch you guys on the next
All right. See you guys.
one.